Hello, Soldier Boy here. So after my fiasco with the karting, something I can get more of my teeth into, and Daily Race B is my kind of race. Group 4 cars, got a few of those, so thought I'd, give it a go, something different. So I've got a baby Veyron. I call it the baby Veyron because it's not as good as a normal Veyron. Didn't manage a brilliant lap. My best lap was a 1:45.3. Started 15th. Not the best start in the world, but I thought I'd give it a go. I find the handling of this car is quite nice. It sounds nice. I just couldn't. I don't know. I think I was a bit tentative. I didn't have much time before the race. I just did the qualifying bit before the race started, and I picked the wrong time to start, and yeah, didn't have much time to get a fast lap, so it wasn't the best start in the world. But here we go. Downside of starting last, although not last, someone's didn't start properly, is you start a long way behind the lead straight away on a staggered start. But we've gained 2 positions, one with Drew not starting, one we're now racing with here. We've taken him, so up to 13th. And the guy ahead of us in 12th has a penalty. We'll take that. Braking quite hard for the corner there, trying to just rotate the car around without going off, but I've hit the red. Just managed to get around the corner. And we're up to 12th. Still an improvement on the start. We started 15th, so 3 places gained in the first couple of corners. That's not bad, but we're a little bit behind the cars ahead now. So trying to play catch up. Braking hard for the corner, and car tries to come on the inside of us there, but we've got the better line out, so we'll accelerate away from him now. This corner I did have a few issues with. I found I had to brake. It's one of those corners that looks like you can take it full out and you can't. And then again this corner, there's no double cones since I use the cones as braking markers, and there's no double cones say you need to brake again there as well, but I find you have to. And on this bit is when you can start going full acceleration. By this point, for this last corner here, you should be fully accelerating. There's no reason not to be. So I've got the run. Still in 12th, but 11th place is for the taking now. I've got him. I'm in the slipstream of 10th. Braking hard for this corner, for the final corner. We're into 11th, so 1 lap down. We've gained 4 positions in the Veyron here. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. We'll take that. And we're in the slipstream of the car in 10th. And 10th has gone onto the grass. That's going to make him lose time there. So we're going to take the inside line. See if we can get past. Just taking the position there. 2 penalties ahead of us. So that's always a bonus. Just trying to keep it tight to these corners. Trying to keep it more to the outside just so we can swing in on that corner. So we're up to 10th. We're on the tail of 9th. We're not too close, but we're in his slipstream, so that's good. Going to the inside for this corner, braking, trying to do him under braking here, knowing I can take the better line, but kind of got too heavy on the brakes, got a little nudge in the back there, but we keep the position. So up to 9th. 8th and 7th both have penalties. But coming off the acceleration there, 8th has taken that very tight on the inside there. It's made him lose a bit of time. Braking and getting it completely wrong, taking too much speed into the corner, hitting the barrier. The car ahead of us did the exact same thing as us. We've cut the corner to go back onto the track. This is never the best thing to be doing, but we're now down, all the way down to 13th, which I'm pretty sure is last place because other people have quit. So all that good work we did at the start, we're now trying to make good again. We hit the car ahead of us. He braked massively hard and I had nowhere to go. So we've gained a place. We're still up from 15th where we started, but then people quit, you're going to gain places. So up to 12th. We are on the tail of 11th. And there are penalties ahead of us, so that will bring people back hopefully. Taking a nice inside line. 11th has gone very wide there. You want to be tight to the inside. Braking for the corner. Little nudge from behind there, but we're okay. Didn't really do too much to us. Getting this corner slightly wrong, but taking that last bit of that, I suppose you call it a chicane, nicely. 10th is having their penalty now, so we will gain. And we've overtaken 10th. So up into 10th place. The cars ahead are a little bit ahead of us, but we should be able to catch up. This very one is fairly fast. Getting the corner massively wrong there, having to keep braking too hard there, but the car trying to go past us goes off. He didn't brake enough, whereas I broke too much. Nice line, and then braking for this corner. Try not to make the same mistake I made last time, but still going really wide, which really reduced my exit speed there. And this is the corner that hit me into the barrier last time. Taking it a lot better this time, a bit slower but a lot better. Cut the corner a bit there, and then I'm fully accelerating now at this point, but I am dropping back from the cars ahead of us. Still in 10th though, so it's 5 positions gained. There's only 12 cars left, so I'm always going to gain positions on my start position of 15th now. Braking for the corner, trying to get this corner right, going very, very wide. Luckily I didn't hit the barrier. We're still in 10th. And what we're going to do, I'm getting ahead of myself to be fair. So 4th lap, and we are still trying to catch the cars ahead, but they are, well, they're getting away. This chicane was a nightmare at times, especially when there's a lot of cars around. Taking this very slowly, cutting the corner, riding the curb again on the exit. But we're okay. We had our fastest lap last lap. We need another improvement now to catch. Got a bit of space to the cars behind. 9th has gone off there. He's gone massively wide. And I don't know if he hit the barrier or not, but he wasn't good there. So now he's been brought back to us because of his mistake. Cutting the corner there. He's gone off on the grass again. And he's now going to go really wide. And we've taken 9th place. So 6 positions gained, which we'll take. And my little baby Ravon through the, I don't know what you call this section, but I like that section, the horseshoe kind of shape. I did like that section, especially when you can hit flat out come the end of it. Final corner of the penultimate lap. Braking for the corner, trying to take this better, and we should be tight to the inside. Wide again though, but fully accelerating away. We're in 9th place, 6 places up from start position, but we're nowhere near the car ahead of us. So at this point we're going to skip ahead. We're going to skip to the final lap because nothing happened in over the course of the final lap. So we're going to go straight towards the end of the lap and the end of the race, and there we are. We finished in 9th place, which, okay, I gained 6 positions. Scrappy race though. My start position wasn't good, which didn't help me, but you know, without excuses, should have done better. But a clean race, no penalties. I did find there wasn't a massive amount of penalties in race B, which is always nice. So for the next race we're going to change car. I thought, okay, the Veyron was okay, but the lap was rubbish. So I went to the Lancer Evo. Couldn't improve the lap time. I think I had 6 minutes between the end of the last race and this race for qualifying. But I start in 13th. But could not improve my lap time, which is a shame. This car can be quite handy. I just couldn't do it for some reason. But that's okay, that's still an improvement. We hopefully will be a bit closer to the leader come the start. We should be gaining 2 positions on last time. So and here we go. That is the problem with staggered starts. You are so far back if you don't qualify well. But at the same time, qualifying well doesn't mean anything if you cannot race well. And yeah, things happen. It's not always your fault. But yeah, on staggered starts you need to qualify high but then you need to maintain it. That's the problem. Braking for the corner. I probably brake too much, to be fair, cutting the corner quite badly really. But we're gaining time on 12th because we're already catching him. There is a bit of slipstream effect as well, which does help at this point. We just need people ahead of us to make mistakes. That's the big thing. Braking very heavily. One car's gone off. You can see him on the side there. He's rejoined. Luckily ghosted, otherwise the car would have been sent spinning out. He went straight into. That's the other thing. People rely too much on ghosting, I think. Because you don't know if it's going to happen some of the time. So when you're rejoining the track, people just go for it and hope people are out of the way. Mistake by myself there. Didn't brake enough. Didn't take the corner well enough. So spinning as well when trying to get back on and regain the power. So we're now down to 16th place, 3 positions down in our start, and still on the first lap. But my favourite section here, this car was quite nice through this section. Don't think it's as fast as the Veyron, but did kind of hold the track well. Car ahead of us quit, so we're now up to 15th. Still 2 positions down, but we're gaining on 14th. We're going to try and take him on the inside, but by not braking enough, we've caught the barrier and didn't really take the corner nicely at all. We thought we took the inside line, which was nice, but just didn't brake enough. We kind of left it late and messed it up. So end of the first lap, we've lost 2 positions on where we started, but we can see the cars ahead. We are okay. Brakes for the first corner. I find you have to brake for the first corner. 14th does touch the grass. Yeah, it's the first corner. I found you need to tap the brakes just to take a little bit of speed off and then fully accelerate. It's okay. Last little chicane there, and we're on 14th. We're in his slipstream. We are behind him, and we try not to finish last at this point. We've already made one mistake. We try not to make that same mistake again. Sometimes I can be a bit over eager to go past. I know I need to try not to try and overtake. Forced the line there. Probably shouldn't have done. Again, like I was saying, I should be taking my time more when overtaking, judging when the best time to overtake is. But I forced that move there, probably a little bit unfairly. Didn't get penalised, but yeah, probably unfairly on my part. Yeah, I had no right to be on his inside, to be honest. But gained enough position. The car had gone off ahead of us, so we've gone past him. We've taken this corner fairly well. Missed the apex massively though. Fully accelerating now. Cutting the corner nicely, I'd say. You get away with it to a degree. Get a bit unstable, but you do get away with it. And 11th and 10th are battling ahead of us. So final corner, and we can see the cars ahead. There's a group of 3 there, right for the picking. So end of the second lap, we've gained 1 position on start, as we're now up to 12th, and we're in the slipstream of 11th. And we can see a few cars ahead of us now, so taking the inside. This first corner I found you've really got to stick on the inside there. Try and keep it onto the curbing. Penalty for one of the cars ahead, that will help us. Taking the chicane there, a little bit off balance, taking it. Cutting more, I thought nicely. We've got onto 2 wheels there for a minute. The penalty is not going to be taken for 10th place this lap, so he'll have it next lap. So we've just got to get close to him, and then that next lap we should be able to take that position hopefully. 11th is braking quite early. We braked quite hard, cut the corner. One car's gone off. We're going to have the better line out of the corner than him, so we're up to 11th now. 9th is the one with the penalty. Just got to try and keep close enough that when his penalty hits on the next lap, we're there. But Torque, you'll find, I saw Torque a few times in these races to be fair. He wasn't too bad, he was quite a fair driver. So the car went off, 10th who had the penalty went off. So we've gained that position, we're up to 10th ourselves. And we are on Torque's tail. Full throttle, coming up to the final corner of the lap. One car decides he's going to do a desperate lunge and try and take us out at the same time. He missed and ghosted luckily. That could have gone very, very wrong. I'm so glad they ghost things on at times, because that would have been our race over. I don't know why you do that. There's no need for it. You don't gain from it. If anything, you lose position. So even if you don't ghost, you're going to lose, and if you ghost, you lose. Torque took it very wide. We've taken a lot of speed into the corner, but managed to hold it. And then Jack's Ruber has hit us from behind into the corner. I was braking for the corner. I was on the racing line. There was no need for that at all. But he did. So that's knocked us down to 13th because of that. We've got a penalty for cutting the corner on the end of the chicane. So it's a shame. Braking for the corner, taking the inside line. We've got Skydiver on the outside, but we're ahead of him. He's not come near us, it's fine. Springwater now ahead of us, German. He's not giving us any space on the outside here, but we still managed to get past him. Taking the inside line for the corner, taking it too fast, which has caused an issue. We're still down in 13th, which is actually where we started at the start of the race. We've still got a half a second penalty to take as well on the next lap, which isn't good. Holding the car, accelerating, fully down, trying to catch the cars ahead, but knowing we've got this penalty, which is going to slow us down, and it will be taken on the last lap, unfortunately. But yeah, that lap is where things went wrong, really. Jack's Ruber took us out from behind, pushed us off the track and into the barrier, made a spin. That didn't help. But we've got the run on 12th here, Springwater. He's given us no space at all. We've got the whole track to play with, and he doesn't want us to be there. A little tap to the edge of his car there as I go past him, just to say, look, I am here, give me some space. Trying to take the inside, and he wasn't going to yield, but managed to take it. He's still trying behind us. And then he dives bombs the corner. We know we've got a penalty, so for us, we've taken the inside line. He's nudged us off again. Yeah, he wasn't giving anything. He didn't want to give us space when there's a whole track to play with, and there was definitely not going to give us space on the chicane. Yeah, maybe he was ahead of us. We probably shouldn't have gone for the line, but we was on the racing line. If I sound frustrated by people and how they play and how they hit you off, I'm not. But I just think people should be more considerate. You know, you watch the racing etiquette video before you're allowed to race online, and I think people just don't bother actually watching it. You know, you should give people a chance. Real racers don't just barge into each other. They pick their moments, and yeah, I'm guilty of it as much as anyone else. Messing up the corner there, but at this point, I'm 13th. I've got nothing to lose. But yeah, I'm guilty of it, not picking the right places to overtake. But there are some incidents that can be massively avoided. You know, look, you have your radar on like I do. Have a look at where cars are behind you. Yield if need be. Because you can always, if you yield, you'll find you gain position later on because you'll have the better racing line. If someone is dive bombing, let them go. But coming up to the line, end of the final lap, we're 13th, just where we started. Yeah, we started in 13th, we ended in 13th. Can't really complain. It was an okay. But then I thought, okay, I'm going to go back to my old faithful, the Lamborghini Huracan. It was the car that I picked as one of the first cars I used, first car I bought. Yeah, let's go back to Old Faithful. So I did some practice laps again between the races, and I managed to get a 1:41.4, which was pretty impressive. You know, that's a 4-second difference to my first lap, and we start in pole position. Pole position. I think this was only my third ever pole by the end of this, but yeah, pretty happy. But if you remember, the title of the video is qualifying doesn't always matter. You'll see why. And I had this previously in Daily Race A last week or the week before with the Chevrolets. Qualified in pole and lost it straight away. But off we go. We're currently first place. You do gain the advantage on the staggered starting first because you know the cars behind are further back, but you've got to keep it together yourself. And second place is now gaining. I think it's because we braked for the first corner and probably didn't need to as heavily as we did. Into the chicane section. He tried the dive bomb and missed and went off himself, so we'll take that. It's his own fault for being silly. So we are still ahead. We've got a little bit of an advantage to the cars behind, but the pressure is all on you from pole. You know you've got to drive perfectly, be immaculate, otherwise you will lose ground, you will lose position fairly easily. Another dive bomb behind us, he goes off, but then second place was there. He took it nicely, but he's still just behind us. I do enjoy watching the radar sometimes when you see him dive bombing, because they just fly through it. Massive mistake there, catching the grass twice. Cut the corner nicely though, managing to hold it together. And Lamborghinis are notorious for understeer. I think it's understeer. Back end flicking out. You have to be very, very careful under braking with them, I found. Holding it together. And then we're coming up to the final corner of the first lap. Still in first place. Pretty impressed with myself. You know, I'm holding it together. Pressure's not really affecting me at this point. Enjoying the driving the Huracan again. I need to go back to using them more. It's the under braking bit that I kind of stopped using them as much. But I'm going for it. And across the line, end of the first lap, still in first. I'm leading after a lap. I'll take it. Braking for the first and back on the acceleration. Got a bit of time to the cars behind. And this car is fairly fast. I love the sound of the car as well. Braking for the corner. Ian Truman tried to take the line. He's come back at me again. I don't know who was in the wrong there. A bit of argy-bargy, but he's taken the position. He's ahead of us now. So at this point, we can relax a bit more. We're not in first, so we can relax. And it's a case of just trying to stay on his tail. Try and keep behind him. No mistakes. Taking the corner nicely, right on his tail there. He's taking it a little bit wider than us. We've got a slightly better line, but we didn't really gain too much from it. But we did there. We're on his tail with a bit of bump draft. Taking the inside here, a little bit of an argy-bargy, managing to hold it. He wasn't going to yield there. We've had to brake heavily, otherwise we were going to go off. So we've lost a bit of time there on him. He was definitely not yielding or giving up any line there at all. But currently in second. The high speed section now. He is getting a little bit away from us. It's okay. Final corner. Got to be tight on this final corner. Got to make it right. Braking very, very late and messing it up. I was too concerned in trying to overtake, and this is what I mean about picking your moments. I was trying too hard to outbrake him, and I should have just hit my normal braking point. So we've lost time to him, but we're still in second. But third is gaining. Yeah, we would have been a lot closer to him if we hadn't made that mistake. That's the thing, it's picking your moments. There was no need to try and outbrake him there. I was never close enough for a move. It was a bit overzealous of myself to try and do it. I better mention that the reason there hasn't been Nation Cup races or Manufacturers Cup, because I've been working. I haven't been able to take part. I've been doing night shifts, so not had a chance. I'm trying this weekend to do the next Nations Cup. I won't do Manufacturers Cup because I'll be working again, but I don't know if I'll be able to. Depends on work. But yeah, it's just the way they fall, unfortunately. So we've got a corner cut penalty for the chicane part. We cut the corner a bit too hard. Taking the corner wrong again. Not braking enough. Taking it too wide. We're just holding it together though. We're still in second. Third is gaining, unfortunately, and we've got half a second penalty to take, which will mess us up. Holding it together here though, and now fully accelerating, or trying to. There we go. Very tight there. And this is the corner we made the mistake on the second lap, sorry, by being a bit overzealous. So instead we're going to hit a braking point, which we did, taking this a lot nicer, holding the acceleration nicely, cutting the corner. Well, off we go onto the penultimate lap. Improved time again. It's always nice to see your lap times improve per lap. Didn't brake as much, which has messed us up because I had to let off. I decided to brake a bit less, and I couldn't hold the line as much. We're going to take the corner, and it's the end of the chicane. This corner here is where we got the penalty last time, so trying to be a little bit wider but still hit the curb. And we're going to take our penalty now, and we lose second. But half a second isn't too bad. You are slowed down, but it's so quick. You're back on. We have got a car behind us trying to take third, and there he is. I believe he's in another Lamborghini Huracan, to be fair, in green. I do like the green. Green's quite a nice colour. He took a very wide line into the corner there. We did get a good run on him. Not quite enough. So we're taking the inside again, but he braked less than we did, so we probably braked too much there. Holding the corner. He's all over the place in third there, but he's had the better line than us because he's gained on second. A little bit unstable on the corner as we hit the curb. Second is now down to third, which is taking it very wide, and we're going to have to run on him here. But instead, I tried to go to the right hand side of him, and he was straight in front of us instead, and caught the back end. So we've lost another position because of that. I slowed us down and pushed him ahead. But he's gone very wide on the corner. We're going to force our way through, which probably was my fault and wrong of me. We're back up to fourth. We took more speed than he did into the corner, and I forced the issue. I was definitely at fault there. I didn't get a penalty, luckily, but I was definitely at fault. That is my fault. I do apologise. But we're chasing down third. He's gone very wide on the corner, so we're going to have a very good run on him here. But then here's the braking section. Fifth has come back at us, but he's hit third place, which has caused him to go off a little bit. But he's back again. We're going to cut the corner quite heavily, and we're now down to fifth. This is from pole position as well. This is the thing. You can start in first, but if you make mistakes, you will lose position. So into fifth, braking for the corner. Braked too hard, massively too hard, and outdid myself there. And I kind of sat on the apex by the end of it, and got a penalty for cutting the corner, which I did. But it's the final lap, so it's going to be added to my lap time, half a second. So we're just going to try and stay half a second ahead of the car behind, really. It kind of gives us no chance to actually get any higher up, because we're never going to get half a second ahead of the cars ahead of us. But we're still pushing, just mainly to stay as far ahead of the car behind us in sixth as possible. High speed section and coming up to the final corner. Got to pick the braking point. Braking nicely. Didn't take it as tight as I wanted to, but got a good turning on the car. Final corner done, and we're in fifth place. We've dropped 4 positions in the race, all because of my own mistakes, to be fair. And across the line, and we keep fifth place even after the penalty. We do keep fifth. So not the best race, but all my own doing, to be fair. There was, I can't fault other people. I forced my way through twice when I probably shouldn't have done, but it was my own mistakes that let me down in the end, really, more than anything else. But fifth position, that's still not bad. We're still getting better, and I am liking the track. Once you get your lines right, and you know where the braking points are, and you keep hitting the braking points, and you're consistent, things do end up going well for you. It's a shame to drop 4 places, but I got a pole position, which, like I say, I think it's my 3rd or 4th pole position, so I'll take that. And now on to my 4th race. Same start time, couldn't improve. I did try, but I couldn't. And we start in 2nd place. It's a shame we didn't have pole again. It would be nice to add another one to us. But 2nd place. So we're going to be quite close to the leader. We're going to have Slipstream behind him as well, just straight after the start. So that will help things. That's the downside of being in pole position as well. You've got no Slipstream, whereas everyone else behind you has on you. And if they get into it and hold it, they will catch you. That's the thing. So sometimes it's not always good to be first. But here we are. And we're off. Braking a little bit and losing second place because the car ahead of us didn't brake for the first corner, but he's gone very wide as a consequence. So gained a position back, but third did get a nice run there. A little bit of bump draft in there. He's hit us a couple of times on the back end. This has forced us a little bit wider than I like on that corner. Got a very good line out of the chicane though. We've taken back our second place. Yeah, I get bump drafting, I get the point, and I get how it's useful in some races. But in others it can force the car ahead off. That's the problem. Losing 2 positions under braking there. Second has gone very wide. We've got a decent line though. And we're just going to gain third place back. We're going to hold the inside. I will give Blown credit. He gave us space there. Didn't have to, but he did. And that's what I mean by racing etiquette. We had the inside line. We were ahead of him. And he gave us space to take the corner. So that's quite nice of him. Until now. Little touch on the back end. Sends us off and into the barrier. Sends himself off at the same time. And we get reset. We keep ahead of him luckily, but yeah, that little bump on the back there caused me to go off, caused himself off, so he's, he messed himself up at the same time, but I've dropped from second now down to 6th in the space of 1 lap. So a lot of work to do here. He tries a dive bomb as well, this Bloom guy, again at the end, misses, caused himself to go off, but now we've got to play catch up on 5th. This is why qualifying doesn't always matter. Started 2nd, now down to 6th. And this time, unlike the last race, not entirely my fault, which is always nice. But we're going to try our best to catch up. Under braking for the corner. We've got a little bit of gap to the car behind luckily, so we don't have to worry about anyone dive bombing us. Taking that corner very, very wrong on the apex. Didn't even anywhere near the apex there. So didn't have the best line into the last part. Next braking zone. Trying to hit this nicely. It's probably braking far too much, and then we are hit by Gaffer Boy, and we're given a 2-second penalty. I believe, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I had the racing line. I've braked for the corner correctly, I've turned in, and he wasn't braking anywhere near as hard as me and used me as his stopping point. But 2 seconds for someone hitting me, that is unfair. And yeah, okay, I've pushed my luck sometimes and don't get penalties, and other people do the same. But using someone as a stopping point, using their car to make you stop and then getting the penalty, that definitely needs looking at. I don't think I was in the wrong. I may have been, but I don't think I was. So that's knocked us down to 10th. And we started in 2nd, so we've lost 8 positions. And we've got a 2-second penalty. We are close to the cars ahead, but the penalty is going to knock us straight back. As we go across the line for the start of the 3rd lap. 10th place. And 2 seconds is a long time on a penalty. Half a second, kind of understand. 2 seconds is a long time. So we are going to lose time. So we need to be as close to these now as possible to then not lose as much. And hope they fight and cause themselves issues. So we're gaining on the group, but we are going to hit a penalty. There we go. So they've now got away from us. And we're still in 10th. Get a bit of gap. We had a gap to the car behind him. Penalties forced him back onto us. So we're now down to 11th and then 12th. Overtaken twice there. We're not last. but we've taken 12th back. He outbraked himself and went wide, so back up to 11th. Just trying to chase down 10th now. Just holding it together there on the exit of the corner. Didn't brake enough for the corner, which caused me to go wide, but still keeping position at least. We're gaining on 10th. Taking the corner nicely and coming up to the high speed section. 12th tries to give us a little move. I think he got a little bit of a touch there, but we're okay. Kind of pushed us forward if anything. I'm going to slipstream a 10th. Come up to the final corner. The third lap. Hit the braking point. Forcing our way through into the corner, which means I had to brake heavily just to keep it on. But taking the position. Probably a bit heavy-handed of myself at that point. So yeah, I say about racing etiquette. Yeah, I am at fault at times as well. But we're up into 10th. Keeping it on the curb there nicely. And we're trying to catch 9th now. The chicane section, trying to keep it nice and not take penalties for cutting the corner. This last part, you can take the curb nicely. If you're too far left on the curb, you'll get a penalty for cutting the corner. Got to try and keep it a little bit more to the right of the curb. You know when you've gone too far because you'll bounce. The curb's slightly higher and that's where you get the corner cutting penalty. But there is a group of cars ahead of us trying to brake nicely. 9th has gone very wide, and so the other car as well by the looks of it, so we managed to gain on them. He unghosted, 9th unghosted right next to me, so a little bit of a touching, nothing that could be avoided really. We're up into 9th though. We can see 8th, we're trying to keep in the slipstream at this point. Still lost position though, it's 7 positions down on starting position of 2nd, that's the thing. Taking the corner nicely, holding it together, straight on the acceleration. Trigger fully down at this point, trying to get the most acceleration I can out of the car. Feels weird saying trigger instead of pedal. Braking for the corner. Didn't hit the apex at all, got the corner massively wrong. The car behind us is now back on us, he's forcing us off, he's not giving us room at all. We're off on the curb, but we've managed to keep our position, keep 9th. He was not yielding there at all. But we do manage to keep it. But we didn't brake for the corner and still manages to hold it. He had a very good grip there. So we're down to 10th now. But we're going to try and outbrake him into the corner. No, we're not going to do it. We're going to cut the chicane. This is the final lap as well. Trying to keep it nice. And we've got the rest of the lap now to try and get 9th back. The battle for us now is 9th place. That's what we want now. Braking for the corner. Massively overzealous. And yes, I'm lucky I ghosted. I would have took him out. We've lost 10th because of my mistake. I was trying too hard. I thought I'll take him. Not being given room again on the outside there. He was not yielding. He was not going to give us any room at all. Probably braking a little bit too hard for the corner. But we're still in 10th. We're losing time on 9th, which is a shame. And 11th is going to take us in the corner. He carried a lot more speed than us, but we're going to hold the line as we go around the corners. Fully accelerating at this point. He's going to have slipstream, and I am wary into the final corner. He is on my tail. I'm expecting a dive bomb. I'm expecting a push. We're braking for the corner, and we get the push. Sends us very wide. We're going to get the better run out of the corner here, but we end up hitting the back end of him instead, which is going to make us not be able to catch him at this point. I was expecting the push and I got the push. That's the thing. So 11th place, we started in 2nd, we finished in 11th. The 2-second penalty didn't help, but that wasn't our fault. I was a little hit by Gaffer Boy. Yeah, not the best race, when I know I could have done a lot better. So we're going to move on to the 5th race and the final race. Same time again, I could not improve that qualifying time. every time I couldn't improve it, I got happier with it. That's the thing. But this time we start in third. And I know the title of the video was Qualified Doesn't Matter. I kind of wanted... This kind of worked out really well. I did 5 races, one after the other. And without spoiling the race, I wanted to end on a high. I wasn't expecting to, but I wanted to. But third place start. Got to get straight into the slipstream of the cars ahead. That's the aim. And we are straight in the slipstream of second place. As you can see, we're gaining straight away. Let off the acceleration, didn't brake as much on that first corner. Just kind of let off the acceleration, reapplied. Held it together nicely. We're still gaining on the cars ahead, which is the bonus. Fourth is just behind us and very close. I think we had a slight nudge there from him, but that's okay. Keeping it tight for the chicane. But we're still there, we're still in with a shout. We're not lost anything so far. Braking for the corner. First place goes very wide, takes a very weird line. We've got a very nice run on the inside there. They're both battling now, very close together. We're going to ride the curve a bit there. They've both gone very wide for this corner. One's gone onto the red part of the track and spun, so we're now up to second. And then first goes off into the gravel. That's going to make you massively slow. And we're in first position. And this is where I said I wanted to end on a high. First position from third. Now I think I've only won 2 races previous to this. And I probably will go back to doing this race a bit more. I probably won't record it, but I will go back to doing a bit more of this race this week if I have a chance. As we're going to take the final corner in first place from third. 2 positions gained in the first lap. And then we're going to skip ahead when we finish the lap to the last lap, because nothing happened. I was consistent. I stayed about 5 seconds ahead of the car behind us. Yeah, there we go. Final corner to the last lap. I stayed about 5 seconds ahead, and no one got near us. I was consistent. I was nice. Alright, I messed up the final corner there. Overbraked it. But it was nice to actually end on a high. And I believe it was a 3rd ever win. The 2 cars ahead of us kind of handed the victory to us. But we'll take that. A nice little win to finish us off. Back in love with the Huracan. Talk, our old friend, is back there again. He finished 8th. But yeah, back in love with the Huracan. Kind of got to stick with it, I think. Rather than chop and change as much. But yeah, all in all, good race. Nice win. Nice way of ending, really, to be fair. So I hope you enjoyed the video. It was nice to actually do a video with another win. It's been a while. And like I say, I'll probably go back and do some more races of this. I'm still trying to get out from D. I don't think it's going to happen for a while. I'm still trying. And I'm hoping to take part in Nations Cup again in the coming weeks. And the Manufacturers Cup, it's just been a bit hard at work. But I'll do my best to try and get them done so I can bring you some more videos. So I hope you enjoyed. As we take our podium position. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.